If you're watching this video, chances are that you've heard of the DreamSMP and specifically Pandora's Vault. In the lore of the DreamSMP, it's used to keep people in and to leave it that way. Now, a month or so back, a bunch of people decided to attempt to break out of the prison using a world download, and once they were able to do that, some decided to make prisons of their own. The one in specific that I'm talking about is DreamSMP's prison, with the similar name of Poseidon's Vault. When first watching this video, I was extremely intrigued. And if you haven't seen it yet, I suggest watching his video right after mine. However, through all the safety precautions, I still felt like it wasn't fully inescapable. Obviously, it's meant to have guards, so I can't be certain what it would be like if there were guards when people attempted to break out. However, I still do feel like it isn't at the potential that it could be at. This is where I come in. Similar to DreamSMP's video, I wanted to figure out ways you could break in or out of a prison before building my own. The first thing that I thought of was simply breaking your way out with your bare fists. I knew that a mining fatigue and obsidian combination would easily win, so I moved on to the next. Getting in or out with chorus fruit would also be impossible, as the walls and roof would be at least 5 blocks thick. The third and final idea I had was to just kill the guard. Now, my only objective was to make it so no one could do any of these. Keeping with the trend, this is the Vault of Theseus, and if you know anything about Greek mythology, you might be able to see where I'm going with this. First, I feel like I should address the elephant in the room. No, the entire prison is not made out of wood. Instead, there are 66 layers of obsidian on top and 10 layers of obsidian on either side to prevent you from being able to get too far in without being noticed. To add on, with the mining fatigue from the several Elder Guardians that are around you at all times, an enchanted efficiency 5 netherite pickaxe would take you 20 minutes to mine a single block. With 10 layers on either side, that would take you 2 hours just to get to the redstone. By then, it's likely that you've been caught by the guard. In order to start the process of visiting the prison, you'll first need to enter the entrance room and ring the doorbell. Although you can't hear it, this doorbell has rung in the guard's room, allowing the main guard to know you're here. From there, you'll see 2 redstone lamps. If the one that says "come in" lights up, you're able to head towards the nether portal. If the one that says "leave" lights up, you'll be forced to leave, with the guard on the outside watching you to make sure you're gone. From there, you can go into the nether portal and hit the button above the dispenser to light it. Once inside, you'll go through a series of precautions, starting with you setting your spawn point and going inside of a box. You will then be killed by potions, and using the hoppers below, the main guard will check to make sure you had nothing of suspicion on you. From there, you'll step onto the stone pathway, which will push together and allow you to cross. In case you've somehow still smuggled in a sword and an ender pearl, the guard has 2 sets of door protection. After that, you'll set your spawn point at another bed, and once again be killed to make sure you had nothing on you. It's now time to enter the prison, but before we do that, why don't I give you a quick tour? Earlier, I said if you know anything about Greek mythology, you might be able to see where I'm going with this, and I'll briefly explain it here. Theseus is the man who built the labyrinth for the Minotaur to wander in Greek mythology. Now, you're probably wondering what a maze has to do with a prison, and for this one in particular, it has everything to do with it. That's right, the entire cell is a labyrinth. I know what you're thinking. The prisoner has more room to break out if it's a maze, but that's where you're wrong. Not only does the maze never end, but there are certain doors that connect to different corridors. For example, if you don't want the prisoner to enter a certain area in the maze, you can block them off. It's not a huge maze, but everything connects, so you could basically walk around in a circle and not realize that you've been walking in the same place the entire time. Now, back to the entering process. After being led through a narrow hallway, you'll reach a trap door, and after opening it, you simply jump down. However, it's not that easy. The guard still has to pull a lever to unlock the hole, and once you finally reach the bottom, water that was placed not too far from the ground will drift to the bottom. Speaking of the guard pulling a lever to let you in, let's explore that room, shall we? The first two things you'll see are the food dispensers. One drops the food, and the other unlocks the piston to allow the food to drop. This way, the prisoner won't be able to get to the entire stash of food to constantly regenerate, but instead would only get to the food at a certain time of day, so as to make sure they're never too healed. The rest of the buttons are specifically for opening and closing doors, something that you can do within a second's time. Finally, there's the guard's room. Like the control room, it's nothing too special, but it allows you to get fully enchanted armor and fully enchanted weapons in the blink of an eye. The second and last thing in the room is the Ender Pearl status chamber. Due to the water always pushing up, your Ender Pearl will stay relatively still, making it so you can travel as far through the world as you want and still be instantly teleported back when you're needed. Hi! I see you've made it to the end of the video. This took me an insane amount of hours to complete, so I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. I'm trying to figure out what both my viewers like and what I have the most fun making, so if you did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing. It really only takes a couple of seconds and it's free. And have a great rest of your day, night, or afternoon.